and I'm here to kind of talk to you guys today about what we've done as a team to really do what we can to earn that repeat and referral business from our buyers who will eventually turn into sellers at some point. So today we're really just going to be talking about the buyer side of the transaction. If you have any questions as we go along, then please feel free to stop me and ask questions. Kelly, do you kind of monitor the chat box?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So that way, if there's any questions, then feel free to put that in there, and I'm happy to answer them. So I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Somebody give me a thumbs. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kind of get started. And like I said, feel free to stop me along the way if you guys have any questions. First and foremost, I did want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors here, Lizzie Hofer with Cross Country. Sammy's here on her behalf. And Sammy, did you want to say anything before we get started?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having us as your power partner today for your class, and thank you so much for everything that you do for us, Becky. We love partnering with you. So yeah.
Yes. Now, I have a quick question. Does anybody here, I don't know how many here use Lizzie or have worked with Lizzie in the past, and but if you have, then you know that they are really big on that whole giving a really great client experience as well. So it's kind of great that we have them here as one of our power partners, because again, if you've done a deal with her, you guys know that we get pop by gifts, here and there, unexpected. We get birthday gifts, things like that. So if you guys have ever worked with them and got, whether it's with them or with anybody else, and you've gotten those little surprise gifts here or there from your, partners, then kind of where you get a feel for what we're going to be talking about today. So we're really big on just making that client experience as, good as it can be. So that way we can, of course, earn their trust. And then, of course, that leads to the repeat and referral business that we get. So okay, so go ahead and get started here. Okay, so again, we're going to be talking about the 5-star buyer experience. So just to kind of give you some background information on myself, it gives you an idea of we have close to 500 5-star reviews on Zillow. We work really hard to make sure that we're providing an excellent service for our clients. That way we get that repeat business or the 5-star reviews. If you are someone who's not already requesting reviews, whether you do it on Zillow or Google or whatever, I would really encourage you to make that as part of your process, making sure that you're asking for that review. We get so many calls that just come in automatically from clients that say, I saw your reviews online. We call them like our come list me calls, where they're literally just calling and having us, there's no competing for the business because they're calling us and want us to list their home strictly based off of the reviews that we get. So we use Zillow as a platform to get reviews because that's where the consumer is going. Regardless of what us as agents do or don't feel about, Zillow, that is the platform that we use because that's where the consumers are going. So you want to be seen where where the eyes are at. So we work really hard to make sure we get those, do everything we can to earn that 5-star review. One of the questions I'm asked a lot is what's the best time to ask for a review? For us, we do not wait until the end to ask for a review. We ask for a review while we're still in escrow, during a positive time in the transaction. Maybe they just got their offer accepted and they're really happy because they're at that point. And maybe the appraisal came in higher than what they wanted, and they know they're moving forward. We always ask for that review while we're still in escrow. And then we go ahead and ask for, if we didn't get it, we ask for the review again at the closing. But we always make sure to ask for that review during and then after the process if we haven't received that already. Okay. Also, as far as our production numbers go, last year we did, you can see our production numbers there, 371 units. And then as far as referrals go, 134 of those came from repeat and past client referrals. So our average price point here is $260,000. I know some of you might have a much higher price point than we do, but even if you figure 260 times 134 times your average commission, a lot of our business comes from that past and repeat client referral. So this just kind of gives you some background as far as that goes. Okay, so one quote we put in here was, nobody raves about average. If you are on my team, You hear me constantly saying we do not do average. We don't do average here. So that's just a quick quote that we put in here. Everything we do, we try to go above and beyond. In any way, in every way, we try to go above and beyond everything we can do for our clients. So that's just a quick quote we put in here. And so overview of what we're going to be going over today. First, if there's any questions that you guys want to know specifically and you want to ask me up front, please be sure, like I said, put something in the comments. I'm sure Kelly will let me know if there's something in there that you guys want to know specifically. So if there's something you want to know, make sure you ask me early on, okay? So feel free to, I'm an open book, so feel free to ask away. Also, what we're going to be going over is our initial lead and client import. So when the client first enters into our system, we're going to be going over that. We're going to be over that home shopping process. So what we cover while we're out looking at homes. Once we're under contract, some of the little things that we do, the milestones that we hit once we're under contract. Also the closing process, and of course, what we do after the close. So these are all the milestones that we're going to kind of be talking about today. So we'll be going over that. Also, but like I said, what I would tell everybody when we're starting something like this is I'm going to go over a lot of things today, but pick like 2 or 3 things that really stand out to you. Because if you make a list and you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you don't do anything. So we get overwhelmed. So pick like 2 or 3 things that you guys are just going to own and make sure that you, just hit it out of the ballpark, because that's the most important thing. Is it's not so much the idea, it's the implementation and the execution. That's what matters. So just making sure that that happens. Also, I've been a real estate agent for 16 years. So a lot of this process we have, grown over several years of being in this business. So if you're somebody who's brand new to the business, that there's nothing wrong with that, but just know that, if there's something like, oh my God, how am I going to do all this? Know that it took me 16 years to figure out the process that we're in. And even then, we're still constantly perfecting and improving that process. Okay.
Becky, quick question. How many buyer agents are on your team?
There's a total of 15 agents. 3 of us take listings, and then the others take with the buyer side. And as far as my production goes, I account for just about 15% of the production. So the majority of the production is being done by the team. Okay. Okay, so one of the first, so you have that, you're scheduling that first meeting. So, let's just say a lead comes into your system from realtor.com, and you're going to, work that lead and talk to them, and you set up that first meeting. So one of the first things we send out when we have that initial phone call with them is going to be a video, like a template, and I have a sample to show you, templated video that we send out to them once we schedule that initial appointment. I save it as a template. You'll see the video I play. It can be used over and over again. It's not specific to the client, but it does. We send that out along with appointment, the details of the appointment. Like, here's where we're going to meet. Here's what time we're going to meet. Here's what, we're going to, here's the location. So we send all that information out to them through an email. You can also send that through text message, depending on who it is. I sometimes also send that out. You can send that out through a text message as well. But I would highly encourage you to do everything through video. I am big on using video. I don't like doing video. I do it because I know the conversion rate is there, and it's just a better way to build rapport with your clients if they know exactly who it is that they're seeing and meeting with on that first appointment. Another app that we use is Haste. I don't know if you guys use that. I'll show you what ours looks like. Let me pull that up. I sent it to myself, and I'm hoping if I put it in the camera, I'll be able to show you what it looks like. But it's just a way for you to send your business card to them through text message. So as soon as we hang up the phone, like we're talking to them, I say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and send you my contact information. So you have that, save it in your phone so you know it's me who's calling. Because if they're on certain sites, like you said, realtor.com or wherever, they're going to be bombarded with people that are calling them. So I tell them, save my information. It's an easy way. So what it looks like is, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it just has the My Home Group logo, my Garcia Group logo. Sorry, it's not the best. There we go. And then right here, it has my photo, has all my contact information. They can click on anything and get my email. They can text me, they can call me. It has a link to my website, address to my location, my office location, and then of course, Facebook and all of that. So it's a free app. I'm all about free. I'm all about cheap, whatever we can do. So it's again called Haste. just download that. It's free, and it's an easy way to exchange the card to whoever you're meeting. So we send that out as soon as we get off the phone with them, okay? So also too, if you guys are using video messages, again, they can be they don't have to be custom. They can just be, you know, hi, this is Becky. I'm so glad to, you know, be meeting with you. I'm looking forward to helping you with your home search. I've attached the details for our appointment, location and place below. Looking forward to meeting with you. Just wanted you to put a face to the name. So I send something like that. If you're using a message like that and you want to use, you know, just regular text message, I would encourage you to set up like your photo albums. Set up like a frequently used photos or videos, stick it in there, so then when the time comes that you want to send out a video like that, then it's very easy for you to find versus like scrolling through all your photos. So just keep a frequently used video and, you know, photo album, okay? So, okay, buyer consult versus showing appointment. I can't see a full screen, so it's hard for me to know, but I don't know who here does like in-person buyer consultations versus just going out and showing the home. But if it is a buyer consultation, we all get, you know, so you can provide some sort of, you know, material for them. So ours are like, we have these little mini ones that we send. It's just like a buyer book. We're actually redoing this to make it a little bit more custom to us, but it just gives them the checklist, what they can kind of expect to do during the, you know, buying process, the cost to the consumer. So these are all like little booklets that you can have your like your title rep or somebody like that help you with. We have mini versions that the agents carry in the car. We have, of course, like full, you know, versions that go over the cost and the checklist. But these are all like materials that you can hand out. If you're doing virtual, then we have converted all of these to like, you know, digital versions so they can see that as well. So even if you're doing like an online presentation, like a Zoom, you know, buyer consultation instead, then that's all something that we send out ahead of time. So even if it's a virtual appointment, we're going to send a video confirming their day and time, give them the link if we're doing a Zoom call, and then we're sending that documentation ahead of time saying, here's what we're going to be going over. So those are all materials that we're sending out, whether it's in person or if we're meeting them, then of course we're handing it to them. Okay.
Hey, Becky, are you willing to share those? Someone asked if you had a PDF version of those materials.
We do have PDF. Yeah, anything that I have today, I figured Kelly, you would have their contact, everybody's registration. We can put together a book, like a PDF or whatever, a file and send everything to Kelly and Kelly can send that out. There's anything, whether if we order something, you want to know where we order it from, just kind of put that in the box and Kelly lets me know and make sure to provide that information to her.
Thanks.
Okay. So we provide the buyer, the collateral, that the buyer process collateral, I guess you would say, to them at the first meeting or if it's virtual. Let's see, showing now, one thing to remember, if everybody, I don't know if everybody here's from Arizona or not, but if you're not from Arizona, one thing to keep in mind, Arizona, as far as real estate goes, did not shut down. Like there was, everybody still wants to see homes. Everybody's still going out, of course, with the correct precautions. So kind of keep that in mind if you're not from Arizona. In Arizona, there was not any kind of a shutdown, slowdown. If anything, quite the opposite. I think most of us are having right now. So kind of keep that in mind when I'm referring to some of these things, because a lot of ours, you can say, do you want to meet in person or do a virtual walkthrough? They want 9 times out of 10, they want to meet in person here. So that hasn't slowed down. It's really important to have a strong lender partnership as well. So if I know I'm going to be meeting somebody and they're a first-time buyer and they want to sit down and have a talk about how the buying process is going to work, one of the things I do is contact our partner lender and say, hey, I have somebody that's going to be coming in Thursday at 3 o'clock. Can you please have somebody here to do the lender consultation with them at the same time? So I try to arrange for both myself and the lender to be here in person for us to talk to the client together. If for some reason they're not available, I at least tell them, can you at least have somebody ready to go on the phone? Because if I call you at 3, they're going to be here at 3 o'clock. If I'm calling you at about 3:20, it's because they want to talk to you guys about doing at least the initial phone application. So it's really important to have a partner who's going to do those kind of things with you. I've had Lizzie come here in person on a Saturday morning and sit down with my client, explain the buying process and down payment assistance programs or whatever it is to our first-time buyers. If you're dealing with investors or seasoned buyers, they don't want to come and sit down and talk to us about the buying process. They want to go out and see homes and get the process going. So, but when we are meeting in person, it's really important that we have that lender process covered as well, so that they can get everything done in one shot. So again, some of the collateral that we provided from the first meeting, I will send that to you. We have everything, like I said, from the buyer checklist to, of course, you can get seller guides and things like this from your title companies if that's what you want to do. One of the other questions I always ask them is, we're meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. What do you want from Starbucks? I will always ask them for their drink order the first time I'm meeting them. And I will bring them whatever they want from Starbucks, because I'm going to Starbucks too. I'll get them a drink. But I like to ask them that because they kind of know what it is, but they just love getting their coffee brought to them. If it's a seller, I do the same thing. But now I save that order, because now when I show up for inspection, what do you think I'm bringing? When I show up for the final walkthrough, what do you think I'm bringing? So they love getting the coffee order. So if you aren't already doing that, then I would definitely suggest adding that to your process, because I don't know what it is. Clients love coffee and I bring it to them. So yeah, it's just good to know their favorite drinks.
Quick question, Becky. Does
Sure.
everyone on your team do this? And if so, who's paying?
I do it and I tell them what I want them to do. And for the most part, they will do it. And I do send them reminders, because what I'll do, we have a private team page, the agents pay. If it's something like that, for everything except for the coffee drink or like a custom closing gift, where the team is paying. But if it's something like that, the agents pay. Now, I do send them reminders, because like when I send that request and my client says, oh, that's so great, I would really love, you know, whatever it is, then I'll screen share and I'll send that to my team page to say, hey, just a reminder, who do you got to ask? Here's a quick way to, you know, build rapport. I'll tell you what, those clients are going to show up for that meeting. If they know you're bringing them a coffee drink, they are less likely to cancel on you when they know that there's going to be a Starbucks in it for them. So I do send my team reminders in our group page, so that way they know. Okay, so this is a quick welcome video that we send. And again, this is a templated video. I use BombBomb, so that's what I use for video. There's free versions that you can do. You can send it through text message for free. So again, there are ways for you to do that. But here's this one. Hi there, Becky Garcia here, and I'm looking forward to meeting with you and getting your home search started, showing you some homes. I look forward to helping you with this process, but I wanted to just shoot you a quick video so that you would have both my contact information and the details of your appointment are listed below. If you have any questions before then, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, just wanted to have you put a face to the name so you know who you're looking for when you first meet. But if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you at our appointment. Take care. Okay, so the reason I play this video is my hair is not perfect. My lighting is not perfect. This is a hot mess. The hot mess is still behind me right here. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't want to sound like a highly produced. It doesn't, if I have agents who don't want to do video because my hair is not perfect, or the, you know, whatever excuse, like, just stop making excuses. This is what I look like. This is what they're going to see when I show up. If I have some like highly produced airbrush type of, you know, video, they're not even going to recognize me when we pull up to the house together. So just, it doesn't have to you just don't have to overcomplicate the process. So this is a quick video that all of myself and all of our team members have, and this is going to be like a template that we send as our like first video out to them, introducing ourselves. And again, this is BombBomb, so you can also send it through a text if you don't want to do it through email. Okay. And we send those kind of videos out at every single milestone. So we send it out, or we have a looking forward to meeting you type of video. We have a what to expect when you're out showing homes. We have a what to expect when your offer gets accepted, when you go into escrow. That's when your offer gets accepted, when you're during your due diligence, during the appraisal, the sit and wait period, and then the closing, what's going to happen in your closing appointment. We do a video like this for every single milestone, and that just really helps make it easy for the client, because they know it's literally, I call it what to expect. They know what to expect at every single milestone, and they're never left in the dark. They're never left asking questions. It just answers a lot of questions for them that they maybe want to ask, but they don't even know what to ask. I'm keeping them updated through the entire process, so they're never left in the dark and they feel like they're always being taken care of. And that's a template, and it literally takes me 2 seconds to just send whatever that next template is. Okay, So again, first written offer, that's when we send those videos that kind of explain how we do that. Once we get an accepted offer, we do send out this little Abby Cakes coupon. And what it says, we just send a thank you card, and it just says, "Sweet, you're under contract. Visit Abby Cake Sweet Kitchen for a complimentary sweet treat or coffee on us." So this is, I can show you. We have this one, but this is kind of what they look like. They're these little tiny cards, and they're small enough to fit in the little, you know, thank you card type of thing. So this is one that we send when they go under contract. If you have like a local bakery and you don't have any kind of an account set up with them, it's really easy to do. You just reach out to the manager there and just say, "Hey, we'd like to set up a small little account, and these are what the cards are going to look like. This is what, you know," we kind of just got an average from them on what the average coffee costs or what the average treat costs. They set up a little like account for us, and then they just deduct money from that every time somebody goes in to turn in one of those coupons. So that goes in when they get an accept. That's like their little treat when they go get their offer accepted. Okay. Also, one of the things that we do when it comes to knowing what they like is we have them fill out a VIP form. We get that form filled out as soon as they get the offer accepted. So that way we know we know what they like. We know what a closing gift is going to look like for them. We cover all of that. So just so you know, it's a quick Google form, very easy. So this is what ours looks like. It just has their name, contact information, the usual, birthdays. We want to know the birthday. We want to know the anniversary date, whether or not they're a veteran, what their favorite hobbies, pastimes, sports teams, favorite restaurants, favorite drinks. We want to know all of that because that's what's going to help us kind of gauge what those little gifts throughout the process are going to be for them. If they're on social media, I want to know their social media accounts. And I never friend anybody until like I know I want to like have a long-term relationship with them. Okay, so I don't friend them until like we're like closed for the most part. I know everybody's different. For me, I don't want to see you unless I want to see you. So I'm going to see you once we close and I know like we had a good relationship. Like, I want you to be my people forever. If I don't want you to be my people, I am not going to connect with you any sooner than when we close for the most part. But I want to know that information so I can connect with them if and when I'm ready. I also want to know what's on their bucket list. You would be really surprised some of the things that are on people's bucket list that you probably have a way of making that happen for them. That something that's a little thing to us is a big deal to other people. So to give you an example, I own a vacation home in what would be considered a vacation destination. So many of my clients put, "I would love to go, you know, to Hawaii." And I'm like, I can make that happen because if, you know, I have a place there, so I'm going to, at closing, if I know that they put that down, I literally will give them a week at my condo that they can stay for. They just pick the week and they give that to me, and that's literally going to be in their closing basket. If they can figure out a way to get the airfare there, I'm going to figure out a way for them to stay there. So there's lots of little, sometimes hot air balloon rides, like you see all kinds of things that are pretty easy to fulfill on a bucket list. Also, if there's anything else you want to tell us, that's a lot of times where they'll say, "My agent Carolyn was great. She was so fantastic. She did X, Y, and Z." And it's really good for you to also share that information with your teammates if you run a team. Okay, so let me see if I can get
Quick
that.
question, Becky.
Sure.
What's the success rate in getting that form completed?
We used to have them sign it, fill it out, and we'd never get it done. Success form on this, it's not the best. But if I send it once, I send it through, we have a template. It's literally in the template. We send that out to them. And then I'll sometimes send them a text message and just say, "Hey, just real quick, we like to make sure we give you great closing gifts. So make sure you fill out the form I just sent to you." And if I ask through text message, I have a much easier success rate of getting that filled out. But when they had to fill it out, or we sent it as an attachment, it never happened. But this is a really easy way for us to get that filled out.
Yeah. And are you willing to share a copy of that as well?
Yes.
Okay,
so
perfect.
That's no problem. Yeah, and it's Google, so they can literally just go in and edit their logos and everything, or ask whatever questions they want to ask. So you just give me a list at the end of everything that you need, so I don't forget. Okay, so it's going to be an offer acceptance. So once we're through let me try to figure out how I can hide this so I can see the screen. There we go. Okay, so once we're at the home inspection period, this actually we just started doing. So create and deliver a cute bag filled with tape measure, notepad, pens, and of course explain the process of the home inspection. So this is kind of an example of what we give to them. Again, we have again, I'm cheap, so I don't like to spend any additional money than I have to. So I use a stamp versus having to get stickers with my logo, everything, we brand everything. So I literally use a stamp for everything. We get cheap white tissue paper, we put our logo on it, stamp it for brand. It has to do it all manually, but that's cheaper than buying stickers so, or custom pieces. So we just do that. And what they're going to get is going to be, again, just something we bring with them to home inspection. They're going to get like a little branded pen. They're going to get little branded note cards for them to, notepad for them to make any, notes about the property they want to make. I have on here tape measures, but what we're actually doing right now is packing tape. So if you can see, my packing tape is even branded. So we literally brand everything. So that's what they're going to get from us. Just a quick little unexpected gift that they're going to get at the home inspection process. Okay, passing the appraisal. Once they pass the appraisal, of course, home inspection, we explain everything. We do a thorough explanation of what their options are and their timeframes and all of that. So that's a given. Once they get at the appraisal process, we also send them out custom moving boxes. So you can see one here in the lower left-hand corner. That's what they're going to get delivered. They look just like this. They come all, they're not put together when we get them. So we just hand them a few boxes and we just tell them that their, first set of congratulations on passing the appraisal. Your first set of moving boxes is on me, and that gets delivered to them. Okay, so they get that at the appraisal once they pass the appraisal. Now, when they have the clear to close, that's when we bring in these other items. Are pretty inexpensive to put together, like the packing tape, the notepad, the pen. You're really talking a few dollars, if that. I mean, we're not talking anything too expensive. I wait until the clear to close that we really start spending a little bit more money on them. So they're going to get anything from a cookie delivery, which is this top section right here, top photo. That's going to be, we contracted with a local bakery. They have our logos. They have everything that we want custom cookies done. We will send them a message that says, we have a daytime delivery. Obviously COVID, we can't do that right now, but pre-COVID, it would go to their work. I always want it to go to their work. Why do I want it to go to their work? Because I want all their coworkers to see everything that their real estate agent is doing for them, that their agent isn't doing for them, because the majority aren't going to do this. So that's why you want to make sure that you send that out and you deliver it to their work. Because then, and what's funny is we've literally had people that we've delivered and they're like, oh my God, they're your agent, they're my agent too. Like we literally have ran into people that we don't even know that, they're our agents. But to give you a sample of what our cookies will look like, I saved a picture. So one of them just says congrats. One of them's a little sold sign. That one says offer accepted. I don't know if you can see it. Little moving truck, a little moving box. And then we do have some that have our logos on them. So I just let her know which ones I want sent out, and she sends those out. They're really good too. So sometimes it sucks when you get like a bakery and the cookies look really great, but then they taste really bad. So yeah, we just make sure that we use a bakery that, is good. So we try to do everything we can to really make every part of the transition for them a celebration. So if it's let's say it's a guy and the cookies isn't going to be his thing, then, but they filled out their VIP form, and I know that they like, let's say, a bottle of alcohol, that's what's going to be delivered, not the cookies. So we had one that was a salesman at a car dealership, and he had some kind of whiskey, I think. So we just had that delivered to us. We showed up with like a box of cookies. His coworkers would be like, so you got to speak to what the client wants. So with him, we knew it was alcohol, so we had that delivered. We do send out these ones. We just actually redid them, so I just have a paper version. But this is kind of what our little tag us cards look like. So every delivery that we do, we always have a little tag. This one says, oh snap, tag us in your photos, and then it has our links to our social media pages. So we make sure to let them know, and then that way they can tag and we can add it to our stories and that kind of thing. Okay.
Becky, we have some money questions. Because you have mentioned a lot of purchases that you guys do. The first easier question was, what are the costs of the moving boxes?
Brianna, can you look up the moving boxes? Okay, I'll find out.
Okay, and then also two people want to know, what's the average amount spent on each buyer?
Average amount spent, it depends on who it is, it depends on the purchase price, it depends on a few different things. But you can figure with all of this, you're probably between $100 to $150 between a decent closing gift and these presents, between $100 to $150 max. So how I look at it is, what's the most that an agent is typically willing to pay for a transaction? If you got, so to me, that's 25%. Because if you get a referral from an agent in California and they call and they say, hey, I have a client that wants to buy in Peoria, are you, able to help them? You're going to take that lead all day long, right? You pay 25%. This is a lot less than what you're ever going to pay for any kind of referral fee, split for Zillow Flex, agent, Agent Ponto, or referral exchange, UpNest, HomeLight. We'll pay those referral fees all day long, right? But then we're like, do I really want to spend this much? Yes, you do, because you know why? People hang out with people that are like them. And if I like you and you're my people, your people are going to be like you. So you're the kind of people that I want to have as a client. So I have no problem like paying anything like this, because it's so worth it to me to have just, I know that they're pretty much going to not be, they've already earned their business. They're not interviewing. They already have their recommendation from their friend, and those to me are some of the easiest transactions to work with. Okay. For how many? For how many? It was $300 for 100 boxes, and we typically hand out between 4 to 5 boxes to a person. It's literally, it's not going to be like, we're going to give you 20 boxes. It's just a handful of boxes. I've actually also delivered boxes prior to a listing appointment. So if I know they're interviewing and my appointment isn't until the next day, sometimes Brianna is going out, delivering a few boxes out their front door saying, I'm looking forward to meeting with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And they're getting moving boxes from me. But again, that's seller side. So we're talking buyer side, but I also do that for sellers too. It's literally just the gesture of sending those out. Okay. Okay, so closing. One of the things we also do, again, depending on who it is and their situation, there are times where we also will provide a meal, a moving day meal for the clients. So what we will do is send them out a message ahead of time and just say, Brianna will typically send it, and she'll say, hey, Becky would like to have the meal delivered. I understand you're moving on Saturday. How many people are going to be there? What time would you like to drop off lunch? So, and where would you like that to be from? So it could be barbecue, it could be pizza, it could be sandwiches, whatever they tell me is pretty much what we're going to do. Especially right now with so many curbside and delivery deals, it's so much easier right now to do that than ever before. So again, just depending on the situation, there are times where we will provide a moving day meal for them too. Okay. Okay, closing, deliver keys and gift baskets. So gift baskets, one of the tasks our transaction coordinator does is about a week before closing. They will send a reminder to the agent saying, hey, just a reminder, 123 Main Street is going to be closing next Wednesday. Now's the time to arrange a gift if you haven't already done so. So they send us a trigger to remind us. So that's when I typically look at their VIP form and see what they put out and go ahead and order whatever I need to order. You can have that at the closing table. I prefer to deliver that gift out once they move in. Once they move in is when I like to show up with, because then they want to show you their house and what they've done and where they put their furniture. I just feel for me it's a little bit better. It's one extra touch and it's a little bit better. Now, granted, yes, it's more time because now I have to go out there again, but for me, it's just so worth it to do that after closing. So our clients are always delivered keys on one of our, again, branded keychains. So we have these little silver keychains that have our website and our logo on them. So they're going to get that. That's how they're going to get their keys delivered to them too. Okay, and then of course the gift basket if the agent's doing a gift basket. A lot of us though do the gift baskets after close. And again, I mentioned that we deliver a meal on moving day, again, just depending on who the person is and whether or not that's something they want to do.
Becky, do you have an example of a moving in day meal?
Yeah, some will ask me for barbecue, like just about some Dickie's barbecue. I think somebody wanted Dickie's barbecue, and that was about $60, I think, and that included the delivery fee. So it would have been cheaper if I went and picked it up myself and delivered it, but we just had it delivered to them, and that fed, I think, for maybe 10 people, 8 to 10 people. So it's pretty inexpensive to do, especially right now. So many places are doing trays and those kind of meals that you can get. So it's a lot less expensive now than before. Okay, so staying connected after the close. So some of the things we do, we have a private Facebook group. So if you don't already have that, I would highly encourage you to do a private Facebook group. This is, again, it's free. It's not going to cost you anything. So that's where you can go and put in, just stay connected with your client. We do announcements in there. If we're doing client appreciation events, we put that information into our private Facebook group. So we do videos like when COVID hit, it's kind of telling, keeping them informed on the market and what's going on. I do a lot of that in our private Facebook group. Also, of course, client appreciation events. We're not really, unfortunately, we weren't able to do our movie day this year because I just don't think that's going to be a possibility by the time we typically do it, which would be like next month. So we did cancel that. But again, figure out once COVID is over what kind of client appreciation events we have. We usually do 2 to 3 a year, and that's going to be anything from a movie day to we do the pies at Thanksgiving. We've done family photo shoots. We've done a lot. We try to always make it special for them too. So like, for example, if we do the movie day, we collect photos of all of our closings, like agents take pictures of course, their clients when they're buying their home or when they're sitting at the closing table, and we will do a slideshow on the screen. It does cost a little bit more, but they love seeing their pictures of them buying their homes on that big screen. So we do try to do little things like that, or have gift basket, little goodie bags for them, do raffles, those kind of things when we're doing these events. We try to do seasonal pop buys. So we did a book drop off last week and the week before. So what we do is, we drop them off, and then I usually send them a little note saying, hey, just so you know, there's a little gift for you at your front door, enjoy, something like that. So we just text them, and then they, are able to know that there's something at their front door. So especially right now, that's really important to kind of keep in touch with everybody. Reviews, we do a lot of review contests and drawings. So you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of Zillow reviews, but you need to, or whatever, Google reviews, whatever you want to do, then I would suggest doing some sort of little contest. We'll say, okay, we'll do this gift basket for anybody who gives us a review in the month of, June or something like that. We give them the link, we make it very easy for them. And even though they maybe didn't do a review before, but they love us, they just didn't take the time, they'll take the time to do a review if there's going to be a contest involved. So we'll do things like that. We always ask them to share and tag, posts. I showed you kind of our tag for that. Birthdays and anniversaries, I always acknowledge birthdays and anniversaries for them. That's why it's really important to stay in touch with them through like Facebook. Birthday, they're just going to get a card from us. We always have a stack of cards. If you go to the dollar store and you just buy a bunch of, random, every type of occasion type of cards, have them handy. It makes it really easy to just send these out. Nobody really sends out cards anymore, so they like getting little handwritten cards. Same thing for anniversary. We do that. Some of the favorite closing gifts. For kids, they love a snow cone machine. I don't know what it is about a snow cone machine, but kids love it. And then I think back to I don't know if anybody's my age, mid-40s, but anybody who was in your mid-40s, you wanted that Snoopy snow cone machine. That was just the thing. So I don't know what it is, but people love a snow cone machine. So, I have clients, I've delivered it, and every summer they will tell me, my kids are so excited to break out the snow cone machine. I don't know what it is, but they love, and nobody has one. Nobody ever has a snow cone machine. So I don't know if that's what it is, but everybody loves that. For adults, I would say it's going to be like experience type of gifts. So, you can buy pretty inexpensive baseball tickets. So tickets to a baseball game, if I know that they're into, baseball. It could be, I had one who told me they loved comedy shows. They loved comedians. They loved that kind of thing. So we talked one day about that. So that was their gift, was a couple of tickets to a comedy show. And they went on and on about how that was the best night they ever had because they got to meet the comedian. They went backstage. They loved it. I don't know. They sent me if I could find the text, I'd find it and read it to you. But the experience type of gifts is what we probably have the most impact with. Okay.
Becky, I have a couple questions. Is it a good time or wait?
Yeah, go ahead.
They're all over the board. When you ask clients for reviews, do you do it in person or via text or email? Do you send them a link?
I send them the link through email, and then I text them saying, hey, if you can do me a favor and take a couple minutes and provide a review, I just emailed you the link. I'd really appreciate it. If you just email it, again, same thing with, I forgot what else we were talking about, but if you just request it, the form. If you just request it, they kind of see it, but if you ask for it through text message, I don't know what it is, I just get a better response that way.
Speaking of the form, someone asked a while ago and I didn't yell it out, but do you think if your Google form was shorter, like maybe the 3 top questions, you'd have more success?
We don't make all of them mandatory, so they don't have to. The only questions that we make mandatory, if I'm not mistaken, is like their contact information and I think their email. I think everything else is, you know, they don't have to fill out. So I guess, I mean, it's possible it could be shorter, but I like to know everything about my clients. So again, you can, the good thing about the Google form, you can add and remove whatever you want. And you can make some questions mandatory required and some not.
Okay. When you are doing these meals for closings, do you pay for these for your team?
No, I don't pay the meals for the team, but what I will do, first of all, if they did, I probably would, but what we do is I will pay for meals randomly, like I want to say it's like 2 a month that I'll tell them if, and again, they work with marketing, so that's why I always don't know about it, but I'll tell them, okay, everybody, we have somebody who will provide, if you're in Phoenix, I can get you the information, but he will provide a lunch, drinks, and a dessert for like $10 a person, and he delivers it. So I'm like, if you want to add, you know, give a lunch to like, we normally say like, oh, we're doing this giveaway and I won, you know, a meal for lunch for a past client for up to 15 people. How would you like to have me bring that to you? So they can actually do that for the team. So we provide that. So that's more on like a monthly basis though. Most of our team members don't really take advantage of it. There's only a couple of them that do, but I'll pay for up to 2 meals a month. And they can do that to keep in contact with past clients. And then of course, they don't bring the lunch because I can't think of his name, but he brings a lunch, but they can go and like say hello and, you know, have lunch with them or whatever. So they can do that.
Cool. All right. Last one was with your private Facebook page. This person said she tried to do it. It was extremely hard. So any tips or hacks how you are successful with yours?
I would want to know like what was hard about it, but my marketing is the one who does a lot of the maintaining of that. So if it has to do with the time and maintaining and thinking of the content, for me, it's a lot of my marketing department that actually goes in. Like they'll say to me, Becky, I want you to do a video on X, Y, and Z. So they'll kind of push me along as far as what they need, but they're the creative ones, and they're the ones that come up with the ideas of what to put in there.
Cool. Last question. How many people are in your private group?
I might have maybe about 150. It's not a huge amount. I believe it's about 150.
Perfect. I'm all done.
Okay. So these are some samples of what we have done in our private Facebook group. So we asked who was a frontline healthcare worker, and whoever responded and said they got fairy tale brownies delivered to them. Those are delivered to them. And again, that's a local company. I try to use local as much as I can. So we sent those out to we only wanted to know who the frontline healthcare workers were. They commented on our group page, and those were who got, you know, deliveries, and they loved that. We also this is a sample, we did a tailgate party for an away game. I think they were playing it was a terrible season. I think they were playing San Francisco. We did we rented out the patio at Native, and, you know, we had some drawings. So that was that top picture. This is a sample of like a gift basket that we did a giveaway for, like a winter basket. We did that. So again, we just do little things like that within our private Facebook group. And then going on to some past pop-by ideas. So the past one we just did last week was we delivered the book Who Moved My Cheese to like our top tier clients. So if they had kids, they got the Who Moved My Cheese version for kids. If they didn't, it was the version everybody has, the original version. So that was the pop-by gift that they got. We've also done pizza deliveries where we partnered with a local pizza place, and they gave us boxes, and we delivered, decorated the boxes and put dinner, put little coupons and said like dinner's on us one night this week, take this to, NYPD and they'll give you a pizza on us or something like that. So we did that. We've delivered cookie making kits during the holidays. Little succulents are easy to, you can go buy those at like Lowe's for I think like $5 or something like that. So we just do little pop-by gifts. And again, we only do pop-by gifts for our like top tier clients. When you get referrals, always acknowledged when they send you those referrals. That's really important to keep that going. We do send out a card. This is actually our birthday one, but we send out little cards like this, and it just says happiness is a cupcake away, and it tells them where to go and what they can get. So we send those out for their birthdays, but we also send out when they send a referral. As far as how we stay in touch, that's going to be through newsletters, through videos. We do a letter of the heart every quarter. We literally like hand do them all. So those go out. Just a quick update on what we're doing, what we're into, what my dogs are doing, like whatever it is. It's literally just if we've gone on a vacation, what was a life lesson that we, have taken the past few months. So whatever it is, I kind of give some ideas. Marketing puts it all together, makes it look pretty for me, and then those get all mailed out. Also, if you guys aren't using HomeBot, then I would definitely recommend that for buyer clients. Put them on HomeBot. You have to partner with a lender, so I believe Hofer Team does offer that as a partnership. So that's a great way to stay in touch with past clients. They love HomeBot. The open rate on that is crazy. It's like a 40% open rate for us, which is really high. If you're somebody who tracks like open rates on newsletters, you're lucky if you get 20%. HomeBot is at least 40% every month. And it doesn't integrate with BombBomb, so you can attach a video with it too. Always making sure to call and text. Like I said, I was going to give you a lot of ideas today. This is what we do, pick a couple of them. But most important thing, a way to stay in contact with your client is through this. Use your phone and call them and text them, especially right now. They need to hear from you. Some recommended readings, I would tell you, if you're wanting to really create a great experience for your client. I have to tell you, I have not read this one. This is next on my list. But Perk Your Sphere is one I've heard really good things about, and it gives you really great ideas on staying in touch with past clients and giving great customer service. Also, Building Your Story Brand by Donald Miller. That one I have read, and that one's excellent. So if you're somebody who wants to, doesn't know where to start and how do I even start building this brand? That's a really good, easy, of course, listen. I say easy listen because I do everything on Audible, but you can read it. You have to do lessons with that one at the end. So that might be better to read, but I'm an Audible person, so you can do that too. So I would say those would be the reading. As far as if you're local, and you guys are going to laugh, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, this is a really great way, a great secret of how you can learn about great customer service and sales techniques. If anybody here shops at Nordstrom in Scottsdale, you need to visit Frenchie in the shoe department. Sammy, I saw you raise your hand. So if you're going to go buy shoes the next time you're at Nordstrom, go visit Frenchie at Nordstrom. He is the ultimate salesperson, but in a good way. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I can text him and I'll say, hey, are you working? In fact, I texted him today. Are you working tomorrow? And he'll say, yes. He will have my shoes ready for me. He will have them there ready for me to see. I will go pick up my own shoes. I almost never buy what I have picked out. I will almost always buy what he picked out and not anything I was ever going to look at. He is like, if that isn't like a salesperson, when you talk about he's showing shoes, I'm showing houses. He has figured out a way to master like the suggestive sale. He is excellent at that. So if you have not visited Frenchie, your next commission check, women's, shoes, obviously, set aside some money and go and visit Frenchie. That will be the best investment you make, because the girls all laugh, but he'll text me all the time. Here's our latest catalog. Here's this, here's that. Hey, here's an insight on these shoes that are going to be coming out. I always have an inside track on shoes. And he is like the most talented salesperson I have ever met to date, no matter what industry. So ladies, visit Nordstrom's and Frenchie in the shoes sales department. So lastly, knowing, I put on here people who aren't your people. What I mean by that is not everybody is my people. Like, I do this for the clients that I want to know, I want to get to know, I want to spend time with. And these are my clients come back to me 10, 11, 12, 13 years. I have one listed right now. I think I sold them their house 11 or 12 years ago. And I've sold them the house 11 or 12 years ago. It's back on the market right now. They're moving on to a bigger house, and they call me just because I stay in touch with them, and I don't let them forget me. And, it doesn't matter. Like, they know I'm going to stay in touch with them, and those are my people. If there's somebody that I want nothing to do with and they were like a horrible person and I don't want to work with them ever again, I do not stay in touch with those people. So I do not, I had one call me a couple months ago, and he was complaining about one of the agents here. She never followed up with me. And I looked at them, I'm like, that does not sound like us. Let me look at it. And then I read the notes. I'm like, oh, heck no. She didn't follow up with you because you're a whole work human being and we don't want to stay in touch with you. So those kind of people, you just need to not follow up with them. Follow up with the people who are your people. If you do the right kind of marketing, you send the right type of follow-up, and you treat them right, like it's naturally you're going to attract the people that you're meant to do business with. Okay. So any questions that you guys have that I haven't answered yet?
Just a quick question came through right now. How do you do touches with out-of-state clients?
Well, if they're buyers, then, okay, actually, I'm glad you asked that because I actually have a couple of suggestions here for you. Let me see if I can, okay. When it comes to the buying process, there's not a lot that you can do. Like when they're buying here, obviously you can do virtual and you can do showings like that and you can provide them information and, you know, there's a lot of like things that we like, you know, let's say these files that we have that we've converted to PDF. But when it's going to be somebody, because again, once they close, they're now, I mean, I'm going to stay in touch with them through HomeBot. I'm going to be calling them. I'm going to be texting them. They're living here now. But when they're a buyer, one of the things that we utilize a lot is technology. So if you can figure out mastering Google Earth is so easy to use. But if you can figure out this is one of the ways that it's so easy for us to like earn their trust and earn their business. We do have an Arizona guide that we're doing too, so they're finishing that up, so I can send you that. But for example, if you're going to launch, if you have somebody that says, oh, I wrote it down an address, I can kind of show you. So if I have somebody who tells me that they want to see this house, I love this house, love everything about it, then in the pictures on the MLS, you wouldn't tell where it backs up against. But I'm going to put this, again, I use BombBomb, so I'm going to put this on a screen share. I'm going to record it through BombBomb, and then I'm going to send it to them as a video. So I'll do something like this. I'll launch it and I'll be talking, hi, you know, say Kelly, hi Kelly, this is Becky. Thank you so much for sending the information on that home. I just wanted to let you know, oh, shoot, it didn't launch at the right spot, but this is how it launches. And I'll say, we're supposed to launch one that was against this main road here. But I'll say, okay, here's that information. I saw that you wanted information on 26 South 235th Drive. This is a great location. As you can see, look, it's right across the street from the park, which is going to be perfect because I knew you have little ones and that was really important to you. And speaking of little ones, look at how close you are to that community, you know, to the, you know, elementary school. This is elementary school. It's going to be really convenient for your kids. And then right here, you're going to have all this shopping. So this is all the retail that's going to be close by. Now, I know you told me your husband's a golfer. So check that out. There's a golf course right here. So this is going to be a really great location that I think is going to be perfect for what you guys are needing. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. If you want me to go into a virtual tour of that home, I can do that for you. We can do a FaceTime call, whatever's easy for you. So just let me know. And I will send something like that if it's an out-of-state client, other than your typical, like, you know, buyer consultation through, you know, a Zoom call. Okay, so that was something. So if you can master Google Earth and get in the habit of doing that, even if the client's never talking, maybe it's a buyer who's never responds to you, but you send something like this, you're going to take this step further that they're not, another agent's not going to do. I can guarantee you they're going to call you over anybody else if they don't have already established relationship with somebody. Okay. It's hard to, you know, and outside of constant emails and texts and videos to out-of-state buyers, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do that I know of other than that. So. Any other questions?
Last one on here said, are you putting all of your nurture buyers into HomeBot? If so, what does that process look like for admin, I guess?
Yeah, so they set that at 6. So when somebody closes here, the follow-up tasks we set up are 1 week, 30 days, and 6 months, and a year. So 1 week, it's just a call to see how the move-in went, how'd everything go. That's going to be at 1 week. At 1 month, it's going to be, oh, if you closed a month ago, are you all settled in? Have you met the neighbors? That kind of thing. At 6 months, that's when they're sending the HomeBot out. They're not going to send it out immediately. We send it out at 6 months. But again, you have to have the systems and processes in place in order to, you know, we use Boomtown for everything. So we set it as a to-do. So like we have a system, like when somebody closes, all of our to-do, all of our future tasks or to-dos are set up. So there's no way you could miss doing them. That's the main thing, getting a system for all of this in place. But pick just a couple things, just pick a couple things and master that. Any other questions?
Yeah, another one just popped up. But do you put in nurtures in for buyers that have not bought into HomeBot? So is it up to the buyer's agent to call at the scheduled anniversaries?
Yes, but when you say bought into HomeBot, do they mean like whether or not the person has, like, the buyer has paid for HomeBot?
No, it sounds like a buyer lead that hasn't yet made a purchase with you.
Oh, we nurture those leads until they tell us to leave them alone, or if they like unsubscribe. We're going to keep following up with them. So yeah, we have people who, yeah, we will follow up until like the death for the most part. We don't stop following up.
Do you put them in HomeBot?
No, we don't. No, you can put buyers into HomeBot because buyers can be for buyer leads too. But we use Boomtown and we use e-alerts, which is going to send them the listing. Like it's like a home search, a home search. That's what they're going to get. And we just call it e-alerts. We send that because we want them. It's going to give us a lot of back-end data that we're not going to get anywhere else. So it's going to tell us what time of day they're looking at the home, are they looking through a desktop, are they looking on a mobile, did they calculate a mortgage, did they look at it at multiple locations, did they send it to somebody else? There's all that back-end information. And I know you guys provide Boomtown to the agents here. So, if you guys are with, any of you are with my home group, you already have access to that program. It's just a matter of signing up for it.
Perfect. And
so I would use e-alerts. I would use whatever home search that you have through your CRM versus HomeBot for me personally, because of all that back-end information I can get.
Perfect. Makes sense.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I've been looking at my phone to make sure like I don't go over on time, because I know I don't like going over on time. So I don't want to hold anybody hostage. So unless there's any other questions, then we're good to go. And if you guys ever have anything, you can, Kelly, if you kept track of whatever anybody needed, just let me know and then send me a list. I can send that out. And if anybody has any other questions, then you're welcome to connect with me on social media. My Instagram is Garcia Group AZ, and then my just of course Becky Garcia on Facebook. So
perfect. Well, you have a million people saying great information. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So everyone's writing nice positive stuff. Oh, one last question. Hang on. So I can answer it probably. So do we all have Boomtown? If so, what do I do to sign up? And is there an extra fee? So I can answer that. My home group offers seats on Boomtown, and it does cost $65 a month. So if interested, you can shoot me an email and I can get you to the right person. And conversion too, by the way. Conversion, I believe, is $50 a month versus Boomtown being $65, and they're very similar.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Well, cool. Thanks, Becky. And thanks, Lizzie Hofer team and Sammy. You guys are great.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.